Well, hello, and welcome back to Spoonie Games and part 14 of Stasis. And when we last left off, we just made it into this room with a bunch of the hybrids, and we're just about to explore what was in the next room. Hopefully, it's just gonna get us killed. I say that, but there's a loading screen. Please don't kill me. What the hell is going on? Machines. Terminals. Checking around the room before I go into PDA. Strapped down creature. Surgical laser. Something shiny there. I'm guessing something's gonna break through, or we're gonna have to break that.
Don't go any further. I'm warning you now.
How could you do this?
I do with my children as I see fit.
It's barbaric.
Spare me the pity of the righteous. Your daughter owes her life to me.
What do you know about Rebecca?
ARG was good on this ship, Mr. Marichek. Cancer, HIV, Ebola. I eliminated them all. Her life is mine to do with as I choose. Oh yes, I know about everything, Johnny boy. I know about your daughter and all about your wife. You are accountable.
Jammed his signal, John. You need to hurry. We're close.
So I wonder how long I've been in stasis for, and they've been out of stasis. I mean, for me, it's been kind of several hours, but it could have been months for them. New begins, the wheels turn, and the Groom Lake continues to lead the vanguard of scientific discovery. Of all humankind, yet I feel dissatisfied. Even at the peons who work under me celebrate a new year. I wonder why. Why would you celebrate such an asinine concept as an outdated Gregorian calendar on a ship that currently is swimming through deep space? The reason is clear: comfort. They fear the unknown, the alien, the impossible. I do not. I embrace the unforgiving cosmos with open arms. The problem with the research we do is the humans doing nothing. Constraints, as they have been concise, remorse, and sometimes even fear. We try to grasp the infinite and give it a framework that ill fits its cosmic splendor. This is my 10th year as Special Project Director for the Kane Corporation. Despite my discoveries and quest for knowledge, I'm held back at every turn by paperwork, moralizing scientists, and that group of degenerate toads that I sit on board with. If I were rid of them, then my word would be God. My word. Not the word of corporations. Still, they have their uses. Their research is funded by Kane, and the Groom Lake is kept running by the money and personnel they provide. But the time will come when all this will change, you mark my words. Inundated with emails from all departments about inconsistencies with storage and contaminated samples. This grand masquerade is sometimes more tedious than it's actually worth. Worst of all, Dr. Way and that technician, Miss Callister, is it? I'd normally make short work of such troublemakers, but it hardly seems worthwhile. Troublemakers must be allowed to make trouble, because if they disappear, that legitimizes their claims and somebody will always take up a fallen comrade's torch. Dr. Backman's tendencies are becoming harder to restrain. I am aware of his shortcomings. The old man is as brilliant as he is deranged, yet manages to go about his work with a sociopathic glee. He's useful to have around. He has requested more bodies for seed, specifically more women who were recently pregnant. This is problematic as we have very few such women on board, and imports are not easy to come by. We may have to play this under the radar. Like my wife that gave birth, so she has been pregnant. I don't know how old the daughter was. That fool, Dr. Gray, complained yet again about his beloved insects becoming more aggressive as a result of the power outages. So what? Let them spill out onto the decks, and as far as I'm concerned, the importance of seed outranks the hydroponics project. Work by 1,000 to 1. I do like playing chess with Dr. Gray, of course. I win every time. A little fact, he's unlikely to tell anyone, although he does seem quite happy to contact anyone who's interested with the opinion that he'd be the best candidate for my job. Sebastian, you could not handle what I do. If you believe otherwise, then you're a greater fool, as I imagine you to be. When the day that I foresee comes, your rotten corpse will be under my feet, and I will laugh. Sound like a lovely person. Dr. Williams is still under the delusion that I don't know about her personal research. Officially, it's illegal for staff to conduct their own research. But this is interesting. Recreating her dead lover in the form of a hybrid. How fascinating. If it works, I'll make use of it. If it doesn't, then I'll burn with the rest of the rejects. The woman is obsessed, and I know that De Santos is playing no small part in feeding her delusions. Only her secret research won't cause me any problems. I would have never allowed her to be on Project Seed. So it seems contaminated waste from the corpse disposal overspills is contaminating the ship. It's causing fungal growth, and so many various drones tell me. The fungus is a riveting position though. While I'm angry at Dr. Backman for terminating more subjects than strictly necessarily, this unintended side effect are fascinating. I've imitated such that Dr. Gray, of course, to stroke his ego with hints of promotion and glory, but he'll keep the fungus alive. The engineers want to destroy it, but I'm sure we can delay that. The experiment is becoming more engaging by the day, and I haven't even had to lift a finger. So while they clog up my inbox with demands and Rome burns, I plan to play the violin. We are more than secure here anyway, and this has a certain inevitability about it. I must record the daily developments of the experiment, or as the experiment grows. So that one? I just need to click back. It is as I foresee, panic, destruction and mayhem, and yet Seed continues apace. Once the favours and the flames die down, we'll sweep the decks, detritus, and repurpose all of it for my beautiful hybrid creations. No more growing plants for the good of mankind. God is no longer in the machine, my friend. I am God. My beautiful children have excelled themselves. They kill, they learn, they adapt. A primal species without any of the trappings of morality. It's their time now. They almost came to be once many years ago, but were snuffed out by humanity. Afraid of its nature or natural success, this semiotic experiment was given a name. The public knew of its corporate warfare. It's true, it was a coordinated genocide. Humanity wasn't ready for the Professor's astonishing discovery and sought to destroy it. His work was not perfect, of course. That's where I come in. I spent most of my life as part of Kane, trying to access his original work. Old man Kane pushed me to the top because we shared the ideal, the utilization of science for the perfection of humanity. Where we differ were the methods by which this was achieved. Not that he had much more to say after I held the pillow to his face, and as he lay in the hospital bed, all for a higher purpose, the greater good. Creations of our species from raw materials will become impossible now that the crew are dead, dying or unclean, but that's hardly an issue. Any subjects who were flawed or imperfect have been turned into fertilizer that will nutrient the perfection of the surviving race. Now the challenge is moving the Grim Lake out of reach of any ships. No one can be allowed to escape this ship alive. Any good, strong survivors will become members of the new race. I am their creator. I control. I transcend. Centaur, I'm so very disappointed in you. A distress signal. I think we were one mind here in Seed. I'll castrate and destroy you for this betrayal. Your flawed body is hardly worthy of becoming one of my children. But for now, I must turn off this accursed signal. You cannot hide from my marvel. You drug peddling a little fuck. So he did manage to get a signal. So much reading. I've been reassigned to investigate the disappearance and murder of 2 scientists in the employ of Dr. Millar. A strange matter to be sure. I've been observing the movements of some of these eggheads, and I cannot say I'm too impressed. Doesn't anybody around here record their comings and goings or make any notes? There is no traditional organisation in this department whatsoever. Project C's answers to no one. This I know, but I thought these science types always made notes. Not that I care about admin, but I very much care about finding out who's selling weapon grade secrets, industrial secrets, a matter of life and death. Especially in this case, my investigation will be thorough and no stones will be left unturned. The staff here are strange, and in fact I'd say a lot of them are even crazy, but I can care less about that. I just want names and answers. I got this job because I get things done, but also not because of my warm and caring personality. At the moment people are trying to unbridge my investigation, but security is a constant and essential part of a shipboard life, especially when we are talking about industrial espionage. I'm not sure where the 2 missing scientists are, but it seems based on the modified records I've found that they were killed and ejected into space. Any other man would assume that these 2 were criminals, but I don't buy that. As far as suspects go, I have ruled out Charlotte Williams, Maven, Dr. Santos. Charlotte, because she doesn't know where she is half the time. The Santos, because he's just smirking shit for brains. I'm confident that he's involved in drug dealing, and I'll give him this. He is cautious and acts like he's a reloaders man, but in truth, I've seen him rejected repeatedly at the bar. Since July, I had to operate under the pretense that I'm an assistant. It's lucky that in my career I had some emergency room experience. The only other person who knows about my true purpose here is Dr. Milan. He's been encouraging, he's constantly supplies me with information that I require for my investigations, and at this time is a little over helpful. Still, he seems honest enough. For the record, I'm well aware of the kind of man Dr. Milan is. I've seen his experiments with my own eyes. I've seen what happens when bodies are disposed of, the burning fires of the furnace, but he does what's required to justify the means. There are few men in the world who will do what has to be done for that. I admire him. He told me to watch out for Dr. Williams' experiment. It seems they are unofficial, and although I prepared a report to Kane to have her removed from her position, Dr. Milan immediately overrode my request. I respect him, but to be honest, I don't like having my authority overruled. Backman of all people were sniffing around today. It seems the old psychopath suddenly became curious. I asked Dr. Milan for further instructions, and he told me to incapacitate the old man. This I did. A shame I had to break the old guy's kneecap. Oh, yeah, that was in his PDA. One of the other ones I didn't read through on recording. He woke up with broken legs. Dr. Manlid insisted that he remain alive and in pain and being unable to move. I'm reserving my earlier opinion on De Santos' character. I still think he's a pathetic little shit, but I now believe he's partly responsible for some of the stolen information. He strikes me as an amateur put onto this by an outside agent. I'll deal with De Santos soon, but first I've got to monitor his movements, make one move, power, and I'll have you. Okay, last one. Dr. Milan has earmarked me as one of his experiments. I know this because when I attempted to leave the ship to report to Kane, I discovered that my access was restricted and blocked. I came back to my quarters and found Milan waiting here. He was waiting with two of his hellish critters that he has created. I'm not squeamish, but those things make me nauseous. I'm currently awaiting what he calls processing. I suppose at this stage I should make peace with God. I've killed many men in my life, and I'll never say that I feel remorse for it, and I won't give Dr. Milan the satisfaction of hearing me pray for mercy. My last notes on this affair are that Dr. Milan himself is at the heart of the events on board this ship. I was blind to it. I refused to believe that he was capable of creating such devastation. I always thought that scientists liked control, but Milan breaks all the rules as far as science is concerned. The leaked information, the fungal growth, the missing scientists, I'm beginning to suspect he even knew that De Santos was actually selling intelligence and may have fed him the information to sell. To what end, I don't know. I suspect it was because De Santos kept Bachman drugged to the eyeballs with whatever power stimulants he happened to have, so Bachman would continue his work. I can hear the machines being turned on. I welcome my fate. At least I know that I did my job for the Kane Corp. Okay. Open power. Right. I'm about to stick a metal stick in there. That seems like a bad idea.
I can't see it working like that.
Okay. Shoot it!
I can try to make it fit, but it may break.
Power cell. Power of gun!
It doesn't work like that.
Okay. Bone mending glue? Oh, clicked off it.
No. Crazy.
Then what do we do? do?
No. Crazy. Maybe. No.
Nothing works
I
with
don't know what I
anything.
was thinking this. I don't think that'll work.
Okay. Why do you always run the weirdest way? Can we break that?
No. Crazy. I can't see it working like that.
Gun?
Probably not a good idea. I can try to make it fit, but it may break.
Does that do or say anything?
I don't think that'll work.
Up there, we've got to get through there.
Crazy.
Maybe I've got to go to that window. There's a shiny thing like there. Coolant pipes. PDA, we've read through that. Anything else? Guy on the floor, should we be worried about him? Strapped down. Just gotta go down there. I don't know. Can be missing something? I mean, the only other things were those power
No, it
cells.
won't work.
Bone mending glow. I doubt that's gonna help for trying to get those things up. glue help
I
there?
don't know what I was thinking there.
Nope.
It doesn't work like that.
I mean, there is another sink, but that's not like that one that we can actually interact with. Guessing going past these lasers is going to kill us. Oh, right. We can't even attempt to. There's no panel or anything to click on.
I think that'll just break it. I think that'll just break it.
Oh, it's already broken. Honestly, don't know. They're clickable. Waiting a replacement power cell. The only power cells I know are those panel bits. But there were 3 of them, and there are 3 of those open. So I'm guessing I have to work out how to get into them. Way to open items without having to scroll. Huh? How did you get out over here? Remote wireless charging. I don't know. I feel a bit stumped again. So hopefully when we come back next time, I've wandered around a bit and sussed something out. But take care everyone. Bye for now.